In our last video, you mastered connections. We connected our example office supplies app to the staff app in order to assign stock reviews to our team members. Click on the info card to see that video if you haven't already. Next, we'll move on to using expressions to run calculations and create custom tables based on the data you've entered in your apps. After that, we'll create simple visualizations to chart the results of your expressions. Adding new expressions and visualizations is for more advanced users looking to do custom reporting. Now that we've got our stock reviews assigned, it would be great if we could get some visibility into how many reviews are being completed by each person. We could eyeball it from the list, but once we log a few more reviews, that wouldn't work anymore. Let's set up an expression to automatically calculate how many reviews each person is assigned. In our Office Supplies app, click on the Expressions button, then click Create Expression. Here, we can build our expression and give it a title. Expressions are like formulas in your spreadsheets. Below the builder is a handy dictionary of the different expressions and term definitions. There are expressions to list out data for connections, to filter down each entity's data based on date or other values, as well as various sum, average, and count expressions. Since field, entity, and connection ID codes are required to build expressions, the dictionary also gives you the IDs you need for each entity and field in the Entities Fields tab and connection IDs in the Connections tab. Let's get started by naming our expression number of stock reviews per person. Since we want to count the number of stock reviews in this app based on the assignment to people in the staff app, we know we're going to need the use relationship expression. So let's start there. We'll enter it into the builder by clicking on the expression in the dictionary, but we need a connection ID. In the Connection tab, we see the connection between reviews and staff and click it to enter it into our expression. Let's hit Create Expression to see where we're at so far. Now we've got all of our stock review data laid out for us, including assignees, but we really want to get the review counts for each name in the name column. Let's click Edit to make some changes. Since we want to count the number of rows for each distinct name, the distinct count expression will be our best bet. As we see in the dictionary, it takes another expression and a field ID as inputs. We'll use our use relationship as that expression so we can count the rows that it returns. Let's nest our distinct count expression around what we've already got and add a field ID as an input for this function. Since we want to count the rows based on each distinct name, the name field must be distinct. In the dictionary, we find the staff entity and the name field and click it to enter it into our expression. Then, we close the bracket for our expression. When we click Update Expression, we now see that we get a count back of how many stock reviews are assigned to each person. Let's head back to the expressions page and make one more expression. It'd also be useful to know how many stock reviews were done each month. Let's create an expression called number of stock reviews per month. This time, we don't need any data from other apps, so we'll use the all expression to get data from one entity instead of the use relationship. Let's click the all expression to add it and then find the stock review entity and click it to enter it as well. Saving the expression gives us all of the data for this entity. Next, we want to count the number of reviews based on which month they're done in. Filter Dates in Period Count will count the number of rows in our all expression where the specified date is within a certain date range. Filter Dates in Period Count needs an expression to filter on. We'll give it our all expression. It also needs to know which date field it's comparing. We'll give it the review date field. The interval is the time period we'll count reviews on. It can be day, month, quarter, or year, but in this case, we'll set it to month. The number of intervals is how many intervals we want to show on our report. We'll show 4 months as the number of intervals. Finally, the start date is when we start counting intervals. We could just put a date, but we don't want the expression to need updating every few months, so we'll use a relative date. Now, -2 will make the start date 2 months in the past. This way, we'll see the past 2 months and the upcoming 2 months on our report. Let's save our expression. And just like that, we can see how many stock reviews are done each month over a rolling 4-month period. Our expressions are looking good. Let's make some charts out of them to get their information at a glance with Appanzee visualizations. Let's go back to our office supplies app and click on the visualizations button, then click Create Visualization. Here, you can turn any of your expressions into a visualization, anything from bar charts to pie and donut charts to single figures. Let's start with our stock reviews per person expression. Since it breaks down a total number of stock reviews into categories by person, a donut chart would make sense here. All visualizations are automatically pinned to the app dashboard, but if we click the Pinned to Dashboard checkbox here, it'll also get pinned to your workspace dashboard. Let's leave this one off there and click Create Visualization. Just like that, we see the expression represented graphically in a donut chart. Let's make one more. Go back to Visualizations and add another one for our stock reviews per month expression. Since this expression is more of a comparison of values across a continuous timeline, a bar chart would make sense here. Let's also pin this one to the workspace dashboard. And there we have a bar chart showing us the number of stock reviews per month. If I go back to the Office Supplies app and click the Dashboard button, I can now see both of our new visualizations appearing on the app dashboard. When I go back to my workspace and click on the dashboard icon, we see that the only visualization available from the Office Supplies app is the stock reviews per month, because we only pinned this one. And just like that, we've analyzed our data on stock reviews using expressions and displayed the analysis graphically using visualizations. Now that you've created an app start to finish, you're ready to set out and customize Appanzee to fit your exact needs. Choose Expressive, choose Visual, choose Appanzee.